What is going on, guys? Captain Poppy here. Today we have some sublime news, some excellent, some incredible news. Yamato, Ulti, and Page 1, Sasaki Black. No one cares. Yamato has released on the One Piece Treasure Cruise JP version of the game. We have her information. We have all the bits and bobs about her. We had the speculation earlier on in the week, but we're finally here. I thought that I would give my thoughts and opinions on it as potentially a new series of videos on my channel where when new legends release, I just give you my raw opinions. So I'll probably preface this video by saying these are my opinions on the legend. So they don't reflect on how good or bad legend is in your eyes, but this is how it reflects in my eyes. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So this is Yamato's art. This is her 6-star. She's only a 6-star. There's no 5-star and then evolves into a 6-star evolution. Her stats look pretty juicy. She has a lot of attack, 2017. Great year, by the way. This is her Limit Break expansion. She has the last tap. She has Hunger, Slot Bind. Pretty freaking cool. And her Pirate, 28 CT, so keep that in mind. Her sprite sheets. Shout out Koala-san from the Reddit. You know, he's a fantastic man. But let's get into it. Her captain ability. Int, driven, and striker characters by 4.75x attack, HP by 1.3, and then int, driven, and striker characters with a 1 orb get a 5x attack boost. She reduces 10 turns of bind on the crew, and when HP is above 50%, when HP is 50% or less, boosts the chain by 1.2x and reduces incoming damage by 20%. Outright, her captain is just fantastic. Driven and striker class is pretty good. As we've seen for the last while, Int is a fantastic color as well. 4.75 attack base is fantastic. I mean, obviously we've seen characters that have a 5x base, so you might argue in that particular point there. But we have to keep in mind that when this character has a Wano slot, it's 5x. Meaning that Wano orbs in this particular area, especially with this character, is going to be fantastic. Wano slots in themselves are amazing as well. So, I mean, that's so much damage output there. 1.3 times HP, again, really good. Lots of HP in that captain. Probably, I think, on the more average side, though, with the HP boost. Reducing 10 turns of bind of the crew. I believe this is the first legend or character that has an inbuilt bind reduction. I did see someone on the subreddit Discord mention that having bind reduction is really dumb. And I think that that's pretty ignorant in the sense. I think that having bind reduction is fantastic purely because that whilst you might have bind sockets, you know, and I still think that you should obviously build your characters with bind and despair sockets because maybe you're not going to be using Yamato as a captain per se. I do think that bind reduction in a captain is awesome. Again, these captains that have the debuff removals, inherent debuff removal in their captain ability are always incredibly powerful. You know, look at things like Roger, Shanks' crew as well. All these units are very, very strong in itself. And I should have mentioned earlier, Yamato is a Super Fest exclusive character. So keep that in mind that, you know, she'll be a very, very limited character in that too. The only thing I don't really like about her kit is I hate HP. Having HP is less than 50%. 50% or less boosts the chain by 1.2x. So maybe running like the Whitebeard ship with her would be pretty good. Or if you want to get like that burst turn of damage. I got Flame V's Twitter open here because he's posted some gnarly videos. Shout out my guy Flame real quick. But I don't like this part. But again, boosting the chain by 1.2x. And this is just like the cherry on top, really. This part of her captain. I'll probably zoom in one more time actually. This part of her captain ability is the cherry on top. The 1.2x chain boost. The real caveats here is the 5x with 1 or 4.5x base. Reducing incoming damage is obviously fantastic, but at the same time, I think the damage reduction, the damage reduction seems to be only based upon if you're below 50% as well. So similar to Katakuri, I think people weren't really happy with that part, but I think like even without this whole section of her captain ability, I still think her captain ability is just insane. I would argue potentially maybe top 3 legends in the game, period. Her special cuts HP by 20% of all enemies. For 1 turn, she inflicts the increased damage taken by 1.75, and for 1 turn, she makes perfects easy to hit by a lot. So, I mean, probably akin to some stuff like the Zunisha ship. And then for one turn, 1.1, she adds 1.1 to the chain. She changes block orbs and matching orbs to Wano orbs for the crew. Wow. Just in itself, this is such a good special. You get an HP cut, you get an increased damage taken, which it doesn't specify that it goes through immunity. So it's going to be interesting to see if it does or not, but I don't think it does. So like that's kind of lame. But again, 1.75 damage taken is insane. Like I know we've seen things like Law's 1.5x increased damage increased damage taken. Obviously against the enemy is really powerful. And Kaido has the 2x version of it too, which is really powerful. I mean, and that's just a free damage multiplier on top of all your other buffs that are coming in too. For one turn, she makes perfects easy to hit. I think that's fantastic. I think obviously you're going to be wanting to hit perfects with this unit, especially because she seems very she seems very much orientated towards chain. So obviously hitting a perfect means you're going to get a higher chain boost, and you know that's going to increase your damage exponentially here. And then she changes block orbs and matching orbs to Wano orbs. So she doesn't change block orbs to matching orbs and matching to Wano. You need to have a matching orb in order to get a Wano orb. But I think getting matching orbs is at least your problem these days. I think she does change block orbs into Wano orbs, so you can mitigate that middle step of going block to matching, then matching to Wano. She changes block straight to matching, which I think is incredible. But again, like I said, getting matching orbs isn't really too difficult these days. And I think that, I think that's very incredible. I think her special and her captain alone are just sublime on a unit. And she's going to be one of those units where you can literally just chuck her in to any team, really. And she's going to give you so much damage output. And she's going to give you orbs as well as an HP cut too. I mean, 20% HP cut is fantastic in itself as well. Her super type conditioning. Whenever there is a plus X to the chain is active. So essentially her special procs her super type conditioning. For one turn, she locks the orbs of the crew, and then she boosts the chain by 1.25x. Oh my days. Oh my god. That is a lot. That's a lot. I think her super type is fantastic. I think locking orbs is incredible, because you're locking orbs. Like if you get Wano orbs as matching, you're locking Wano orbs for a turn, which is just so much damage output. And you're boosting the chain by 1.25x. So if you guys have picked up on, we have in her captain, she inherently will boost the chain by 1.25x. Obviously, if you get below 50% HP, she then adds the chain, and then she also does another multiplicative chain boost. So these multiplicative chain boosts are like that of the switch effect of Sanji Judge. And I think the switch effect of Vivi and Rebecca V2. I can't remember exactly. But again, these just are an additional, such a big addition to your chain, which is just incredibly fantastic. Her last tap condition, obviously on the final stage. And her last tap, she changes her, so this is at level 5. She changes her own orb to a Wano orb, and then she boosts the final chain by an additional 2x. So keep that in mind if you're running the numbers in your head. We have 1.2x to the chain itself. We have 1.1 additional to the chain. We have 1.25x to the chain with her super type. And then with her last tap, she adds an additional 2x to the chain. What? that is bonkers. Genuinely, that is just obscenely bonkers. Her whole kit, this unit's fantastic. This unit is fantastic. She is a powerhouse unit. I mean, she's not. She's Driven Striker, which is a little funky. I was predicting her to be some sort of Free Spirit powerhouse type unit, Free Spirit Striker maybe. So we got the Striker part right, but Driven seems a little, not necessarily obtuse, but it does make sense character-wise and if you're going like that kind of style-wise. But I was kind of predicting not necessarily Driven Striker. I was probably saying more Free Spirit Striker, Free Spirit powerhouse. So overall, I still do think she's just insanely strong. All right, her attack. So her sailor ability 100 to the attack, 100 attack to the crew. Great. She can't be blown away. Fantastic. She has last tap. Obviously, she has hunger, which is really good. And then she has orb reduction, which she completely removes. This is very underrated. Completely removing orb seal on herself is super duper good. So 10% attack to super characters. I don't know what this super characters. Not sure. Maybe it means super character. And supports character does 1.5x damage. Oh, to support a character. Okay. That makes sense. So 10% of her attack to the supported character. And then the supported character does 1.5x damage against Kaido, so that's Luffy Odin. That's pretty unique. I mean, there's probably going to be some sort of, I think there is a Blitz event that's coming up. So definitely there's going to be, there's going to be Kaido as a final boss, so potentially having her as a support maybe is going to be really useful. Or maybe just for content in general, having her as a support for Kaido stuff's going to be pretty useful there. Her Pyro Rumble stuff. Her Pyro Rumble stuff is new to me. I kind of knew all her Captain is special, but her Pyro Rumble kit will be the interesting thing here. 100% chance to half the stats of an enemy in medium range for 20 seconds. What? That's powerful as fuck. 4.5x character's attack and damage to 2 enemies. 4.5x is actually nuts. 4.5x is so much. It is so much. To 2 enemies as well, bonkers. Level 7 attack down to enemies in a large round for 10 seconds. She's really good in PvP. Her Pyro Rumble abilities, a level 5 attack up to in allies. When damage has been dealt for a maximum of 5 times, she increases. I'm assuming this is when damage has been dealt to herself. For a maximum of 5 times, she increases the attack of in allies. So, in theory, you could be getting a level 10 attack boost from this parameter here, and then also level 5, so maybe a level 15 attack boost to Int. So Int might push ahead in the meta now, especially because of her quality here. Immune to movement seal, and reduces incoming damage from Psy 30%. Very good, very solid Pyro Rumble kit. She's a fantastic in Pyro Rumble, fantastic in PvE. This unit is incredible. Her last tap, more parameters here. So she only gets the 1 orb on level 5, but on level 4, which is actually pretty good, matching all level and 2x, and then it goes down sequentially, of course. Level 1's fantastic. I want to give a shout out to Flame. Flamevius did mention in a tweet, and I think it should be known and listened to. Don't spend your last tablet on the Onigashima Trio units that are coming out on Global. For Global players, that is. Save that tablet for Yamato when she releases. Because buffing yourself from the 1.3 to the 1.5 is already massive. And, I mean, it's so much more valuable than the last taps of the Onigashima Trio units there. So, keep that in mind. This is a 10 out of 10 unit, though. Hands down, I think Yamato is incredible. I think Yamato is just powerful. She's so strong. This is a must-get unit. If we're going to go with the Puppy trademark, certified, limited LTD, she's a milestone unit. If global players are thinking of where do I spend my gems next, after the Onigashima Trio, you could hypothetically skip that banner as well, if we're really going to break it down. But I would definitely say that you're looking at Yamato being your next unit you're pulling for people that are saving their gems or for free-to-play players alike. This is definitely the unit there. But we are spoiled for choice here. We have a Ulti and Page 1 unit. I do really love their artwork. I think it's fantastic. Especially their 5-star artwork I really like. They are a quick and Dex unit. They're driven and powerhouse. So again, you have the driven connection to Yamato. And they're on a 25 CT. So pretty cool there. Ulti's captain is driven and powerhouse characters by 4x, 4.5 with a matching orb. Crew will treat recovery tandem orbs as beneficial. And when among the enemies there is a powerful enemy, then it reduces incoming damage by 20%. So this is the symbol for a powerful enemy now. So keep that in mind. And then Page 1's captain, these are their solo captains, of course. Driven and powerhouse by 4.25. Crew will treat recovery in tandem orbs as beneficial. And when among the strong enemies, reduces incoming damage by 20%. So pretty cool. Very strong, solid base captains for like their solo forms. 4x minimum and 4.25 with Page 1 is great. And then 4.5 with Ulti. That's really strong as their solo captains. Their dual captain, driven and powerhouse characters by 4.75x, 5x with a matching orb. Their crew will treat Dex, quick recovery, and tandem orbs as beneficial. So you have 4 slots already counting as beneficial, which is insane. At the end of the turn, they do 500x characters attack in in type damage, so the type that they are, damage to all enemies. When among the enemies there is a powerful enemy, then reduce incoming damage by 30%. They are really good. Page 1 and Ulti are fantastic. Very, very strong unit here. Like, genuinely a very strong unit here for sure. You need to keep your eyes out for this one. This whole powerful enemy thing is really cool too, so keep that in mind. Their special, 300x, I'm jumping ahead. 500x, they turn to page 1 and Ulti for 3 turns. I do recall that that's in their special, of course, here. 3 turns. So you're going to get 500x their attack and damage to all enemies for 3 turns, which is just bonkers too at the end of the term. Their special is 300x characters attack and type damage to all enemies. It changes all orbs to matching orbs. So there you go. There's your situational thing where you can use this on a Yamato team, and you're gonna have that little compromise there for sure. Completely removes enemy target lock. So I believe this is the first time we're seeing this. So enemy target lock is obviously that debuff where you can only attack a certain enemy until you kill them. So removing that is really cool because it means now you're freely able to attack whatever enemies you want. And then for 3 turns, they become Ulti in page 1. When the captain is driven or powerhouse, a driven or powerhouse character, then make enemies with 10 million HP or more a powerful enemy. Designating enemy as powerful and is not affected by debuff protection. Okay, well there you go. And for 1 turn, they boost the attack against powerful enemies by 2.25x. So we have damage special. We change orbs into matching, and then they have a new self-proccing conditional boost. But it's self-proccing only if there's an enemy with 10 million HP, and it goes through debuff protection. What? Most of the time, the final boss on a raid or a Coliseum or arena or a blitz or whatever have you, or TM, is going to have 10 million HP or more. So if that's the case, you're going to have a self-proccing 2.25 times conditional boost, and also you're going to have a full board of matching orbs. What? This unit is so good too. I'll probably still say Yamato's better, but this unit's fantastic in themselves. I think they're really cool. Like, really, really good. They make basically recovery in tandem orbs is beneficial, which is neat. It seems like Ulti is a better sailor. Driven Powerhouse get recovery and tandem orbs is beneficial. And it's kind of weird how them both together when we're in the macro recovery orbs is beneficial. So, that's what your effect. Completely removes paralysis on themselves, and they chain their own orb to matching. And then for 1 turn, they set the chain boundary to 1.6x. Again, incredible. Very good. And they are a super swap ability, which is for 6 swaps. After 6 swaps, you can set the chain boundary. So they change their own orbit to matching, and they remove paralysis, of course. And then they set the chain boundary for 2 turns. They set the chain boundary to 2.5. So I think the 2.5 is the same as 1.0 Law and the same as Raid Croc, which is this. And I think it's also the same as versus Ace. This is so much more damage output. If you're really thinking about like damage altogether, setting the chain boundary is always an incredible thing. And this unit's super swap ability in tandem with Yamato's chain shenanigans is a match made in heaven, because you're buffing yourself in the chain area. Their Pipe Rumble kit, level 5 crit to Driven, and 2.5 times character attack in damage to enemies in a sideways range, 2x character attack and damage to powerhouse enemies. Interesting. Driven allies, level 5 knockback rate up, level 5 crit rate up, level 7 attack up to allies. That's pretty good. And they're immune to special seal, and then reduce 30% damage from powerhouse enemies. Really decent Pyre Rumble kit, probably not as strong as Yamato, but again, pretty decent Pyre Rumble kit. Lots of damage output, nice buffing for Driven, and then they negate, or they do a lot against powerhouse enemies. So really, really good. Wow. 2 incredibly powerful legends, just immediately. They're both very, very strong legends here. Quickly running through, we have Dex Sasaki, 5 turns of Threshold, and Resilience on enemies, changes adjacent orbs to matching, and for 1 turn, boost the orbs of Driven and Powers by 2x. Pretty solid, nice utility, orb boost, matching orbs, pretty cool. I rate it. We have the lovely Black Maria, 5 turns of Special Seal, and 5 turns of Defense up, and damage reduction, so blue shield and rainbow shield enemies, and she boosts the color affinity for driven and cerebral by 1.75. Pretty decent, pretty good. You have three debuffs you're removing here, and then she removes 5 turns of special skill on herself, so again, really solid. We have an Int Who's Who. He is looking really good. Reduces 5 turns of Despair and Paralysis on the crew and changes adjacent orbs into matching, and then for 1 turn, he boosts the attack of Powerhouse and Driven characters by 2x. Again, pretty solid. You're going to be using probably Who's Who and Sasaki on opposite sides, get a full board of orbs. Pop Yamato, you get a full board of 1 orbs. Pop a super type, you get lock, and you get a bunch of chain. You get an attack boost and orb boost. You get the color affinity potentially from Black Maria. So the whole batch really works really well. And I believe this X Drake is a free-to-play X Drake. So he does 30x characters attack and int damage to 1 enemy. He reduces 1 turn of barrier on enemies, changes the top row to matching orbs, and for 1 turn he adds 80 times character attack tablet damage on top of tap timing bonus, and he minuses 1 cooldown to driven and strikers. Really good. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm incredibly impressed at how powerful they made Yamato. Real quick, shout out to my guy Flame. So here's, just watch this video. Look at the chain. And here you go. So keep in mind, this is probably like the Sugo Island or whatever it is. So he's done 250 million damage on the Sugo Island. He obviously has the last step active. He has all the buffs and stuff from just the crew. She's nuts. Yamato is insane. This is such an incredibly interesting video, purely because she gets from all of her boosts, including her captain ability as well. She gets the chain to 10x. 10x! Are you kidding me? And then obviously she doubles the chain with her last tap, so you're gonna get to 20x as well, which is just nuts. It's just nuts. And then obviously again, something completely aside here, which I've just jumped on the blue in this video, we are gonna get a part 2 to this whole campaign at some point. And obviously here in the Japanese it says that look forward to the future information, where they're going to reveal a new Yamato. So we can kind of predict that potentially this is going to be a 6+ evolution to Yamato immediately, which people might be against, but I'm completely for. I think that it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to take Yamato and change her overall. But with that being said, that was Yamato's information. Those are my opinions. I think that Yamato, if I want to summarize all of this, I think that Yamato is absolutely cracked. I think that she's probably one of the best legends of the game, if not arguably the best legend of the game. I would say you could put up there Roger, Asabo, and Yamato would probably be my top 3 at the moment. Again, my own opinions. I think Page 1 and Ulti are super good too. I think as a dual unit, they're incredibly strong as well. I think they're very powerful. They're very good unit, and they have a fantastic super swap ability. Yeah, this is a fantastic batch. Get your hands on Yamato, and for global players, this is the next milestone Sugo Fest. This is the one you're going to be aiming for. But with that being said, I have been Captain Papi, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.